Oh, just a sec. Discord is not picking up audio again. Wait, sorry guys. All right, try again.
Good evening,
There we
good
go.
people,
We got it. Sorry guys.
and welcome to Class 201. This is Ninja Week of our boot camp. I am Saracen, joined in the booth by DM Stewart and Chanigan. DM Stewart, how are you tonight?
Doing all right. Yourself?
It has been a week, but here
Oh
I
yeah,
am. So,
yeah, I know.
we're going to have a good time. Chanigan, how about you? How you doing?
Pretty good as always. A bit tired today, but nothing like a game of FFR can't help me uh, get some energy. Yep.
Well, Ninja Week, we go a little bit of a different route than what we did with Fighter Week. And I mean, it's the same week, right? But we we do Ninja for a couple of reasons, and we do a couple of things to accommodate the uniqueness of the Ninja. Um, so I think let's jump into the flags. We'll talk about things as we go along here. First thing that you should really note here, we are mid Topher tonight. That is, recent favorite of most people. You will have a significantly shorter Topher experience than you have had before. Um, it's nice. It's not full on short Topher. We'll explore that at some other point. But mid Topher cuts out a lot of the interstitial garbage. I think that's the best way to
Yes,
put it. And it makes rediving Topher, if you have a bad wipe, a lot more reasonable. It's still a little punishing, but it's not nearly as bad as a full on long Topher.
agreed. Agreed. Long Topher for me always made me play it really, really safe because the time cost of a wipe in Long Topher was so punishing.
Fellison, I appreciate that you enjoy our good friend Jim the Jamera. Uh,
Well, it,
all right.
it is a giant experience pinata.
I mean, it's mostly funny because, like, what is it actually trying to be? It's just our good friend Jim, you know? Um, all right, on to the difficulty and scaling. This isn't really changed at all, I think, from the Fighter Week flags, and that's by design. We really want to show off that the Ninja not only holds its own, but competes better in some regards, and struggles in others. But that it's a reasonable choice versus the fighter. It's just going to require some adjustments. So on to our incentivized locations. This is going to be the fun part.
Other new duckling Dawn bites tongue at that statement.
Well,
I am one of those people who says that the thief slash ninja is for running and that's it.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
it's a worse fighter.
it is in many regards. There's considerations to be made all the time. So in our incentivized locations, you're going to notice a couple of things here. The first is we have two dungeons where we are turning on the random. And we are also turning on the off maligned marsh locked chest. So Chanigan likely going to go visit that at some point. That is the bottom right of the same room as the incentive chest for Marsh. Uh, Now, there is an important note about these two random locations. Random post rod means that you will always want the rod before you go to Earth because you cannot get to the incentive item without it. That also means that the incentivized item is on the fourth floor. There's only 8 chests, and they're all on the same floor. Uh, Random Lock Sea Shrine has a little secret. The secret, besides the fact that there's only one locked box in Sea Shrine normally, and that's that friendly chest in the crescent moon shaped room on the way to mermaids, but we have a little secret a little further down. Notable in the items is you'll see that the Masamina is grayed out. That will not be appearing in this seed. We want to focus on ninja things. So we have an incentivized katana. We have the power gauntlet, power staff, and ribbon all incentivized. Very good items, all of those. I realized we never actually talked about the power gauntlet and the power staff, why they're good items. The power gauntlet, used as an item in battle, casts Saber. Saber actually working in the randomizer gives you a substantial attack buff every time you use it. So you're going to deal more damage each time you use it. It is self cast because Saber is self cast. The power staff is renamed the Ruse staff. In these flags, it casts Ruse just like the defense sword. And, still generally worth quite a bit to sell if you want, but Ruse is a very powerful defensive layer. Also,
Is it
Chanigan circled over the hint givers.
is it three ruses that max evades?
3 normally, but Ninja. Ninja comes with the agility.
Ninja comes with extra agility, so it's 2 ruses.
Hmm. Any other callouts you have here?
No. Seems I think I built these flags, so seems pretty straightforward.
All right, on to the next. The main callout here is extended open progression. What that does is it opens up a walking path between the dwarf cave and northwest castle. You no longer need the canoe. This only sometimes matters, but when it does matter, it's kind of funny. All right. Maps and routing. This is where we get one funny flag, and that is the Mermaid Prison. As a member of Bubble Soda Company, I am very interested in anything that involves mermaids. This locks every door on the mermaid floor. So if you remember, we have random locked in Sea Shrine. That means any chest in the mermaid floor plus the TFC chest could have that Sea Shrine incentive. So, just, being a little playful. We're going to be opening some doors. Our treasures and freebies, the main thing is that we have removed the Mosmune as called out before. So it is just not going to be here. It's fine. We'll get over it. Our shops and magic, nothing changed here from our Sunday flags. We still have life and battle, all the normal stuff. Uh, Enemies and formations. I don't really have a call out here, honestly. Everything is again the same as last time around.
Yes. And it was designed to be that way. It was more of this is more you know what the flags are doing from playing Fighter Week, from playing the Fighter Week flags. So it is entirely on figure out what to do with the ninja when you
I'm on
have to use the
board.
ninja as the carry.
So our party composition, you will see, you will start with a forced ninja, and you can pick a thief or any mage for your remaining 3 slots or nuns. And that could play into strategy. We can talk about that a little bit later, especially once we see what our bonuses end up rolling on the classes. Big, big, big call out. Actually, 2 call outs. We have 120 base bonus agility. That's a lot. So
Yes, it is.
80 is considered very strong. 120 is generally considered abusively broken. The other thing is thief lockpicking at level 10. So this is a very important flag to understand if you are not familiar with thief lockpicking. 1, when the thief gets to that level minimum, it can pick locks. It acts as though you have the key. This is very good. It gets you access to all sorts of things. However, anything that you get with thief lockpicking when you have not yet gotten the key, it's out of logic. So it can't be part of that progression chain immediately. This is a big deal. I think that about does it for that section. Nothing really big going on here. We've got the same equipment blurring range. So again, we're going to have very strong equipment and all the same game adjustments pretty much, though we have the magic spell reordering flag turned on this time around. That might have been a whoopsie in the first week, but the main thing here is you can swap the spell order at each level. It's pretty useful.
Yeah, very useful when you have a red mage and you forgot to put fire 2 in slot 1. So
So if you were wondering why the ninja over starting with the thief, the answer is that the thief is kind of a weak class. The ninja is very strong. The thief feels bad, particularly with weapon permissions. So in order to introduce this, we said, hey, you know what? We're going to start with the ninja. If we get the tail, that's great, but we're not going to have to necessarily count on that. So that's our explanation. That's our thought process here, because learning the thief is a bit of an art, and you learn it over time. So in order to accelerate that, we're going to go straight to the promoted version. And Chanigan has already got a seed rolled up. So let's see what we got going on here.
yes. By the way, sorry if audio is weird. I'm doing multiple things today. So if audio is weird, please let me know. So yeah, I haven't looked at the seed, not the flags, the blurring yet. So let's see what we got. Okay.
Almost a ribbon.
Yeah,
We have almost a ribbon.
So yeah, big. This is gonna be a big ninja. Again this second time this week, I will take a nun, running the 3-man version. Let's see.
I know you don't like the white mage, but at least show off the bonus.
Yes, I will show it. Womp womp.
Yeah, not enough to really shift anything there.
If you get like white mage sage, that might be worth it.
Yeah. Can it roll on the white mage?
It can.
Oh, it can. Okay. All right. So because of this bonus, I almost want to take 2 black mages. LM plus magic as a bonus is pretty good. Early on, it drops up a bit near the mid to end of the game, but the two other mage classes aren't that good, I should say. The white magic, like last time with the fighter, didn't really use any white magic. I think I used Cure 4 once, or maybe not even once. So I think I'll go with 2 black mages just to go all power. It'll help a lot near the end game, especially if fast is level 8 or something like that. Because I start with 2 charges at level 8 because of that bonus. So unless you want me to take a white mage or a red mage.
we have Mr. Speed and Power being Mr. Speed and Power.
Yep, basically, yeah. I would go solo thief, but solo ninja, but I'll keep that to the race in a few days.
Well, that's tomorrow night.
That's tomorrow night.
I can't even make it, unfortunately. That's sadly a conflict for me. But let me tell you, I was running one of these seeds earlier, and I ran 2-man. So that's kind of my my view of it is if you're not going 4-man, you may as well go 2-man.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Well, we'll
Don't
see.
disagree.
Yeah, I'll just go 3 because why not? Having 2 tempers per turn is pretty big.
Yeah, that's true.
All right,
So
I
I
guess
man-moded Topher because I was just like, whatever.
yeah,
I'm ready when you're ready.
yeah.
I'm ready.
All right. I guess we can go in 3, 2, 1. Good luck, me.
So, thinking about our long-term strategy with the thief in the lead, the main consideration, man, level
Oh
1
my.
fast, and
Level 1 fast.
All right, this is gonna go fast.
Yeah. So my main consideration when I'm thinking about a thief as my melee carry is that the thief has just lower hit points and is therefore very susceptible to non-elemental damage.
And crown in Corneria.
Yep.
Ah, good call out. Good call out.
Bottle and ice with crown for 3.3k. I will check since the key item is in Corneria. I will check the boxes here. Normally I don't, but since they're there, since the shop item is here, why not?
Yeah. And 1,900 gold out of that first chest puts the shop item pretty close to in reach.
Yep. Yeah, I can just get pretty much anything. Yeah, the Silver +4 might not get me there, but maybe with Garland. You know what? I will take this fight.
Assuming it lets you.
Yep. Alright, so we have... no, wait, Quadex. Alright, we're going back.
Womp womp.
Oh, that's amazing.
Of
right
course.
there. I knew it was gonna happen too. You know, it's just inevitable.
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, take 2. There we go. Oh yes, if someone can get the timer, I'm currently at 2 minutes.
Where's that live on here? I don't know the tracking system very well at all.
And I missed what King had.
Canoe.
Okay, canoe and slab.
Yep. Alright, so that's that crown he'll have to wait until after the pirates.
What did you say your timer was at?
2:32 right now.
I'm gonna guess that's about
Close
right.
enough.
Yeah, I guess. I don't see the timer, but I guess it's close enough.
2:45.
Yeah, that's good.
Can you tell that I don't track very often? I think this is literally my second time doing it.
You're
Yeah,
doing fine.
I don't either.
Yeah, you both are doing fine. So,
And
same as
There
last
goes-
time.
There go pirates.
Yeah, same as last time. Go to Provoca, get a few levels, get the rod. I don't need to go to the item shop since I know where Crown is. So I will check. Let me buy Log 2. No, I'm not buying Zap. Zap is pretty good, but I don't feel like I need it right now. Oh, great. Thanks for the hint.
So, Zap, to explain for folks that may not
Yes.
be familiar with the spell, it is time elemental, but very low accuracy.
Yes.
Why does time elemental matter? It's because time is basically resisted by nothing but chaos, but the accuracy is the problem.
Yeah, it's awful.
Um,
Very useful when you have to go into Sky
Ordeal.
early.
Sky and Ordeals are
Yep.
like the two places I think of.
Yeah.
So, in particular, man cats are resistant to a lot of things, but they're not resistant to time, and they have abysmal MDEF.
Mhm.
So they are an excellent target for all of your AoE instant death needs.
Yep. Going to Matoya just to get some bit of money. There we go.
Both in calling out the earth usage as well. A lot of undead are
Yep.
good target for it.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, that
Including
that
Lich.
never occurred to me.
No, zap early, even late game is pretty good. It's just the accuracy that isn't that good. Alright, so I will get the crown, do the check at the same time. Let me grab a few cabins. 7 should be enough.
They're so expensive.
Yeah.
Where's my 15 gold tent? Probably in Provoca. Because
Yep.
you skipped the item shop.
Yeah, probably. No, I saw those two in the for sale. All right.
Notice Chanigan using those free steps.
Yep.
Yeah, anytime you step into or out of a river, you get on your little boat. You're not advancing the encounter table.
And that's a ship.
So,
as-
pop quiz, where does the ship spawn when you get it from Northwest Castle?
It spawns at Elfland.
Correct.
Indeed.
So yeah, the only place the ship can spawn, well, the only place it'll spawn at Dwarf is if the ship is at Dwarf. Otherwise, it'll go to the Conneria dock, and most of the time it'll go to what's it?
Elfland.
Elfland, yes, thanks.
The one exception is Ice Cave.
Yes.
Ice
This
Cave
one
goes
goes to Provoca.
So we always like to make that mention of that. What it's using from a logical standpoint is the nearest dock with vanilla map.
Yep.
And so that means no open progression, no extended open progression. It is looking at where could you canoe to or walk to nearest.
Now that's a Thor hammer.
Yep. Very good
That's
early
helpful for
weapon.
It's not just a good weapon, it's also a sweeper.
Yep. Yeah, since my ninja is currently doing absolutely nothing.
Okay, that's an interesting way through that room. You don't go up between the two.
Nope. You know what? I will take this worm because I need to... Oh yeah, they resist. I forgot about that. I need to be level 10 right now because I don't want to come back into Marsh Cave. So I just need one more level. I could check the other... No, I can't. I can't check the other trap tiles. Alright, one
The
more.
other trap tiles are all behind the keys, yeah.
Yep. Should have one, yep. Oh, really?
Yeah, it had well over 200 hit points on the
Yep.
last one.
That's
It's just your first Ice 3 got you the crit roll.
yeah.
Ice 3 got the good roll.
Oh boy. Alright, we're going back in. Oh boy. This is awesome.
Oh, you're at that horrible part of the encounter table.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I could have just hard reset, but I don't know. Didn't feel like it.
Fine. You know, the hard part about this is you kind of wonder if you should take some of these encounters, even though they're bad.
Yeah, but I want my Thor hammer first.
That's true.
That's valid. That's 100% valid.
Yep.
So I
This
think
one
I
at
started it on this
nothing.
conversation a little bit earlier, but if I'm thinking about a thief carry, I'm thinking about extra levels, and that's
Yep.
because I want hit points.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid I won't have them.
This one had money, right? Yep.
It's the whole reason that I don't ever want to take a thief carry. Because just not enough health.
Yeah, my favorite blessing to see on a thief is like plus 80 health. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm set. Cool.
The one that's what's the one, the stat? Yeah, vitality.
Yeah, vitality. Yeah, yeah. This one is
Yeah,
pretty
plus
good.
significant vitality.
Yeah. I mean, that's the moment where I'm like, this
There's
is
a-
certainly better than a fighter.
There's a Procate +5.
Yeah.
Procate
it's
plus
not
5 is a very important piece of armor for some people. I find it useful.
Oh my
all the
God.
time. Ah!
Oh!
Danny didn't even roll this one.
Yep.
It does help focus the experience to the ninja.
Yep. There we go. There's level 10. Alright, so with the the second Black Mage down, I don't think I'll res him. Well,
Handy.
Ribbon +4.
alright. Whoops, never pressed A.
I'm surprised you didn't try to throw the quad X out at the red D.
Nah, most of the time they roll with pretty high HP. I could have done
Yeah,
it.
dragons do tend to roll high HP.
Yeah.
In this flag set, they actually roll low enough that it almost always is going to hit on the red D. It's the blue D and the gas where I actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh well. But I'll keep that in mind with the tile, since red Ds are pretty good. It is a pretty good tile to grind on. If I... Okay. Great. Awesome.
Was that the crawl? Yeah, that was the
Yep.
crawl.
Sure was.
Oh.
Do you care enough to get that ribbon?
Nope. Not anymore.
You know, the best part about that experience is the ninja had the resistance without the ribbon to get away from that stone. So that unfortunately tells us bad things about the first slot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
That tells us
do we want to
three
get into
and
esoteric
six.
stuff? That seems like a little too complicated to go over.
Yes, Ale, I'm okay.
Channy, are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm not sure now. But yeah, you can see how terrible Marsh Cave can be.
This Marsh, something is gonna roll. Something is gonna roll off Light Marsh. You just expect that something will roll off.
Yep.
It's true. And certainly on the Monday night race, Rubes and I got the worst of that when we were doing solo fighter, and Chanigan somehow dodged everything.
Well, I saw them, but I managed to pretty much dodge it. Alright, so we're
Crystal
not
is back.
sticking
I never
here.
had to update the tracker. It's great. So just a couple of things to talk about touch attacks, because it's actually kind of important. So touch attacks in vanilla were super bugged, and if they are randomized, they are fixed. The issue with touch attacks is there's a chance on the attack for each hit, and that can be particularly painful by itself. And then the resistance portion is its own issue. So there is still MDEF problems at low levels, such that even having a ribbon at low level, it's not a guaranteed resistance. You're just taking away the base accuracy of whatever's trying to hit you. But if your MDEF is low enough, it may not matter. And so that's a consideration you have to have.
Well, that warp would have been useful 2 minutes ago.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it would. Why you go to Elfland first.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
the bugged touch attacks are hilarious because it's suddenly the element of the weakness of the monster that's hitting you in vanilla. That's a very expensive nuke for what you have. Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's
Good to know.
unfortunate that you won't have progress there, but
Hey.
that does say some things about your crystal and your ice cave.
Yep.
Well, wait, your ice cave was a bottle, wasn't it?
Yes, Ice
yes.
Cave is a bottle.
Ice Cave is bottle.
So that says something about this crystal.
Sure do.
Yep. Hello, canal. Alright.
Knowing that, I probably would delay Crescent until Float.
Oh, yes. No, I'm not going there.
And
So-
especially now that we've got a rod,
Mm-hmm.
that
Yeah.
suggests to me
I'm just
let's
beelining it,
clear
yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, I'm beelining Earth. Even if I'm still low level, I just want to be done with Earth Cave.
So to answer Ale in chat, we've already had the vendor item. It was the crown in Corneria.
The only thing that I don't like is that I don't have any armor. Q is ordeals.
Even ordeals.
Okay.
So ordeals required.
Yep.
It is ordeals required, but it also tells you that Earth is the path.
Yep.
Yes.
And that was actually going to be a thing that I was going to ask is, you know, your consideration of Earth versus ordeals at this point, because you have the convenience of river docking right now,
Mm-hmm.
but the proximity to Earth, and then the hint giver just tells you what you need to do.
Okay. Here's my thought on it, and I may or may not be completely off base in this. My thought is you do Earth because it's proximity. If Earth is something that turns in the inner sea, you turn it in. If Earth is floater, you go up, you do ordeals, and you sail up in river dock for ordeals, and then go turn in the floater.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. Oh my god, please.
So, Life Reboot coming in with the question, how much do you need to know about the base game to play FFR? Let me tell you, we have people in the community who have never finished a vanilla playthrough. And they've been
Danny
here
never.
for years.
Danny never finished.
Yep. And she's kind of proud of it, honestly.
Yeah.
'Cause, you know, she's a very capable runner, and the vanilla game is not kind.
Yeah, no, it's...
The game is hard.
Yeah, I tried speedrunning Improved Vanilla last year or 2 years ago, and yeah, no, classic FFR is very brutal.
Yeah,
Okay.
vanilla FF is absolutely horrible. As Jat used to say, vanilla is the worst randomized seed. And I can't disagree.
Yeah, same.
So you're checking a lot of chests here on this floor. Why?
I don't have any good weapon. It's
Valid.
basically that, and I might want to find another ribbon. Just in case. I don't want to go back to Marsh Cave.
I mean, you have warp now.
Well,
Hey, you have a weapon.
I have a weapon now. I might throw it at
Sort
some
of.
point.
You sort of have a weapon.
Not guaranteed.
Look, at +7, that thing is a monster.
At +7, At +7, it's slightly better than paper
Wow.
cuts.
Wow. I'm at that point in the encounter table. Oh boy.
And not only that, you get to watch Heal 3 animations go off.
Yep.
At
I look
least until
forward
they
to when they come in 9 packs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hashtag stalling.
Yep.
Yeah, birds are
we go.
jerks.
Alright, there is our ruby. That is worth 2 more item checks. And you see the warp usage there. It's actually fewer steps if you warp out of that room and then walk back from the entrance to the floor.
Yeah, he's just
the other
faster.
room where these could be is down south here. There's 3 chests in that room. Someday we'll see them.
Let's do it this swing. Nah. Nah. It's not a good weapon.
It's a fine weapon. You don't have enough levels to have hits.
Nah. This thing should hit for like 500 right now.
Like I said, even at +7, it's slightly better than paper cuts.
Alright, Lich. Oh yeah, Whitfast is pretty much done right now. Oh.
What?
No,
There
because
were
it's a
0
paper
crits
cut.
in there, I think.
There we go.
So the Vorpal is fixed in FFR to use the intended crit value, which is quite high. And at +7, its crit value is absurd. So, like, it should be critting far more than it just showed off. Because it had 0 crits in 6 hits. But it had over, like, it had like a 50% crit rate from the stats.
There we go. Now I'll do the tricks as I have warp. Small trick. What I will do is, since you saw me going out in the left side, I will just do this. Do warp. Do I have a charger warp? Okay. And that way I just save a few steps. It's not a lot, but still a few. It's better than
In a
nothing.
close race, every little bit helps.
Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm in the bad part of the encounter table. I just hard reset.
I also, Chanigan, I must also say that I very much appreciate that you are showing the correct step routing.
Yeah. Having good step route can save you a lot of time. Like every time I can go in front of a door, just hugging the walls, doing warp tricks here and there, like every bit help. And it's good to develop those muscle memory, so you can just do them instantly, even if when you're talking.
And thank you, Life Reboot, for teeing up that talk about the encounter table. Consider a deck of cards. The deck has 256 cards in it. Each card is one step of your routing. There are a certain number of cards that will give you an encounter. That every time you take a step that's not what we call free steps, so the free steps are, with air quotes, are going into and out of a river. Actually, the dock tiles are free steps. Immediately in front of a door is a free step.
So I just did a thing. As you see, I have TNT, and I didn't go to Dwarf Cave because I knew I had a check in Elfland, and what I did, I just checked Elfland to see if it's adamant. And fortunately, it was.
And yes, life reboot. Free meaning you will never see an enemy encounter on that particular tile. Damaged tiles are also the same way. So the lava tiles or ice tiles in Volcano and Ice Cave. The bottom row of tiles in rooms. All of these are free steps, or steps you will not get an encounter on.
Yeah, you won't advance the encounter.
You won't advance the encounter table.
Yeah, the encounter table.
So when you soft reset, the equivalent of hitting the reset button on the console, you'll retain the same position you are in the encounter table. When you hit a hard reset, the equivalent of a power cycle, you will go back to the beginning of the encounter table. This is very useful. You may see this used on Sunday in the Black Belt Week flags for an overworld grind.
Spoilers.
Well, it's pretty obvious that the next flag set is going to be the other potential melee carry. Yeah, yes.
No. That was just me being bad.
That was enemies rolling awful skills.
So, an important thing to note is that the encounter table in this deck of cards analogy doesn't shuffle. It has its specific cards in order, and you're just flipping them. And there is a forward and reverse order to it. But they are always the same number of steps between encounters. It's just whether you're going forward through the deck or backward through the deck.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm just going from places I need to go to places I need to go. Nothing too exciting, just following the key item chain. So right now, I could go to Ice Cave, which I know is Bottle, or go to Ordeals, which I know is Cube. We'll get there. It's just I'm doing a lot of proximity plays since I want to be done with the Inner Sea. Just never having needed to come back here is gonna help me.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
And again, he's taking the chests that he can get basically for free.
Yep. Like free experience. By the way, you saw me going to the top left. Is just muscle memory from winter tournaments. I'm just so used to
muscle memory from
winter tournaments.
Yeah,
since there was a key item here.
And winter tournament was also Shard Hunt.
Yep.
Which we'll talk about in a later class.
Yes, Wubert. Yeah. Personally, I do use the music to know where I am at the on my steps when I encounter Manip. But yeah. Alright, carry shouldn't be a problem. Let's do fast and I have one cast of temper. Why not? There we go.
That had actual critical hits.
Yep.
Okay, here's why I don't like the Vorpal. I don't like the Vorpal because it's such high variance.
Yep. Yeah, me too. That's why I don't like it. It's just, you can swing for a lot of damage or just swing for nothing. Which I really don't like.
Yeah. You can swing for 6 hits for 166 like you got on Lich, or 8 hits for 722 because you actually got crits.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see the warp trick here, aren't we?
Yep. Yeah, I don't need to go deeper than the where the vanilla chess is. Just need to go right where the chess is, and then I'll be done with Ice Cave. And we already know what's here, so a bottle.
So Woobear calling out the crit lore. Why are crits awesome? Well, because crits, in addition to doing the regular hit damage, do a second hit that also is ignoring absorb entirely. And so when you have bosses with lots of absorb, that becomes very strong. Ultimately, when I'm thinking about the Vorpal, yes, it's a high variance weapon, except when you have time to put the resources into it. So if you're casting Temper on the Vorpal wielder, or you're using the Power Gauntlet to cast Saber on yourself, those are going to be very helpful to make the Vorpal a very strong weapon. And it can be one of the strongest options out there. I think it's better than that Katana +1.
Unfortunately.
With the +7 bonus.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it is probably better than a Katana +1.
My litmus on that is a difference of +3.
Okay, I can almost reach Lefane without getting a single encounter. It's not too bad.
Which makes me suspect that you're going to use the inn. There's a roost stick. I like that. I like seeing that roost stick. Oh, I figured you. Okay, you used a.
Yeah, I have a bunch of houses.
Camping gear.
Yeah.
You use camping gear to hard reset.
Yep.
That is
it's
correct,
faster.
Dale. I'm surprised you didn't just let the encounter hit and see if you got a T-Rex.
Nah.
It's not airboat.
Yep. Force of Habit again.
See what you were doing. I can see what you were doing.
Did you ever check Canaria locked?
I did not.
That's the other problem with lockpicking when you're not used to it being on.
But at least I know Key can be there, which is nice. Key's not here, which is also nice. I know Cube is there, so Key is gonna be either in Sky or
Waterfall.
Waterfall. I didn't look where I was going. Oh boy. So that's bottom. This is bottom. Okay. I always take notes of those, but forgot to do it.
Here's the real fun one.
Okay. Nope. Nope. I'm doing some double inputs.
Oh, I'm bad at tracking. Okay. Lockpick. Bottle.
Okay, so that's 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have pretty much everything but Oxiel. Oh, it's not 2. Wait, I've been there? Oh boy. So this is what happened when you don't pay attention to which rooms you've been to. Alright, so it's 3, then bottom. Alright. We got through.
No, Chanigan's running, I'm tracking, and I'm just bad. Literally only my second time ever tracking. So, cut me some slack.
Now,
I've been here for like 5 years.
I would rate that Ice +4 is better than a Vorpal +7.
Maybe not that. I don't know. Oh boy, here comes Trance.
Because it's more consistent.
But the thing is, the
attack
ice
values are going to be equivalent.
Yeah, the ice sword, like not a lot of enemies gonna be weak to it. Verbal also, but just because of the higher crit chance, Vorpal is going to be better.
And they're good. There's Chanigan doing an encounter manip.
Yep.
Thank you, Ale, for calling out the values on these swords. The Vorpal is actually smashing that ice sword. It is across the board better, except against things vulnerable to ice, so... You know, in a later class, we might actually explore the, 18 chests that we're walking by?
Yeah. Something like that. There's a lot of here.
It's 10 on that floor, and I want to say it's 8 on the first floor.
Oh, something just popped in my head. Oh, I will take this. This is pretty high experience. I never put armor on my mages, especially when I'm doing a speed and power thing. I might have a few armor here and there if I can find something good, but yeah, no, I'm most likely won't be putting armor on my black mages. Alright, so is this the key? Alright, that's almost go mode. So I'm only missing Oxiel right now. The, you know what? Light and Aquatics. Doesn't matter.
So that means that from a logical standpoint, we are looking at Key and Waterfall.
Most likely,
Oxiale at Canaria Lock. And Tail in...
Tail in water.
Tail in
Sea Shrine.
Sea Shrine.
Yep.
Which says we're not going to see Waterfall.
Nope.
No. Why would we do that? We have what we want from there already.
Yep.
Wow, you get the worst encounter on the bridge only? Is that where we're at?
Yeah.
That one has a Gurnaga.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I should probably heal my black mage. We're fine.
As you continue walking.
Oops.
So, good question here. How do you know where things are going to be? So, we have two kind of thought processes we can work with. One is hint givers. So, there are some old folks in various towns that will tell you about what's in what place. Sometimes, especially as you get further into the seed, they just tell you about things you've already found, and that's kind of disappointing. But in the case of Ice Cave, we knew that that was the bottle because the first town's hint giver gave us the information that Ice Cave had the bottle.
Yep.
In the case of the rest of the seed, we can deduce it from logic. So the only place that is accessible and has a key item remaining at this point is Waterfall. But we can bypass that because Waterfall has to lead to this key because our Sea Shrine is in locked chests and this is the only other place that's available once you have the key. So you'd need 2 items to get into Sea Shrine and then get the item. Or you need just the key to get here. So that means we know that this is the Oxiale.
Yep. And since you need the key... And since you need a key to open the locked mermaid rooms in Sea Shrine, well, Tail has to be here. Has to be there.
Yep. And,
how do you keep track? Exactly you just big brain.
The logic break is really the key thought process here. Is we know that we can skip things or we can go places because we have broken the logic chain with lockpicking.
Lockpicking, yep.
So keeping track, we have trackers available on the wiki. There is an auto tracker option that I believe Chanigan uses.
Yes, very heavily.
I should probably click an arrow. There's when I started, and there's some times where I still go back to this, but not very often. I had a little printout and I would like put notes on it, but that was mostly for things we'll be covering in later classes, where we randomize a little bit more than just the items and such. But there's a lot of different tracking mechanisms that people use. Some people will use just writing on a whiteboard or a piece of paper.
Pickles and Beer does that.
So the auto tracker is considered tournament legal in FFR.
Yep.
Unless specifically called out otherwise.
Unless called otherwise. I know when I have done the one year I did summer co-op, I actually had a Google Doc. Actually had a Google Doc that was shared between my partner and I. But that also had some additional things that we'll be talking about in later classes.
I think the important thing to keep in mind with the tracker is you perform how you practice. So you'll want to figure out what's going to work for you and just practice with that.
Yeah. Yeah, if you don't want to use the auto tracker, that's perfectly fine.
I don't use any trackers anymore.
I also don't use any trackers.
So for me, I have just the right amount of forgetfulness as time goes on, such that usually I can forget the seed just in time to have finished it. There are situations where I have a little bit more trouble than that, but generally speaking, I remember long enough to finish a seed, and then it's gone. And for me, it's just a matter of I visualize closing the door on a location.
And Chanigan was in fact attempting to what we call Bracken the Kraken. Kraken is weak to Brack and Bane.
So yeah, remember last week when I said this is gonna go fast? Yeah, this week is going faster.
Yeah.
So lockpicking does things, and that's very helpful because it prevented you from needing to double dip the Onrak continent. Double dip being go to Waterfall, leave, go to Canaria to get to the locked chest in the castle, and then go back to Onrak to go through Seedrum. So we're seeing the mid-Topher here. And the mid-Topher, as I mentioned before, has a lot of route differences as we cut out some interstitial floors and add some shortcuts. So normally, this floor right here has a bunch of pillars on the bottom section that are gone.
Yes, and Chanigan was our runner on Sunday for the Fighter Week flag set.
You know what? I'll do Fast and Tempered just in case.
We will have a different runner this upcoming Sunday.
Yes, I'm only doing those two.
We will have someone who is pro. I will go ahead and spoiler alert. It's the other melee carry on Sunday. It's the black belt, and we will have someone who is a black belt aficionado running those flags.
Is it Gregglypuff?
What was that?
Is it Gregglypuff?
No.
Aww. I was hoping it would come out of retirement. I should have put the roost stick on my ninja.
Whoops.
It'll be fine.
Speed and power.
Yeah.
Ooh, ouch.
That's what Kraken said. Speed and power.
Kraken 2 doing Kraken 2 things.
We're fine. And anyway, this was the black mage that had the roof stick, so it's not like he needs it anymore. I will take this fight. I need HP bad.
Yeah.
We're rolling up to a scare.
Yeah, I'm barely level what? Oh wow, they're big. I'm what level?
Nuke
18?
also rolled. Nuke also rolled pretty low.
Yeah.
Oh wow, they are real thick. Okay,
But they are pretty
a
big.
2-nuker. Yeah, a little bit more than that this time.
Don't think that's gonna be enough. Yeah.
Nope.
But yeah, these guys are these worms are thick.
There we go.
That's
25.
okay,
But they're also
25 now.
25k XP,
All right.
You can
level
almost
25.
live through a max roll nuke.
which is why you take. Oh,
Well. Uh-oh.
well, that's a thing.
Alright, gotta start using ruse. One should be enough. Since I have 120, well, I might need to ruse more.
Speed and
Oh,
power.
Cure 4. Great.
Well, at least
White
hey,
magic? I
at
still
least
don't need
it's
it.
Not, at least it's not. At least Cure Force not on Chaos.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't think we saw slow 2, and that's the real concern.
We'll be fine.
And we also haven't seen any nukes or nuclears.
We'll be fine.
Wouldn't it be funny if all 2 nuclears and 3 nukes all rolled onto this chaos?
No.
I think it'd be funny.
Oh, I think we have a
he's supposed to
punchy
roll all
chaos.
punches. Wouldn't that
I think
be
it would be
hilarious?
very amusing. But we have a very punchy Chaos.
We'll be fine. Uh-oh.
Oh, he finally did something other than punch. Oh no.
Alright, I'm just holding A. That should be enough. And we're fine! There we go! No problem! Oh boy. So yeah, 46:37 is my final time.
Yeah, there's a timer thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
GG. GG, Shanigan.
Thanks. That was fun. Yeah, speed and power is great. Oh,
So
boy.
I tell people about speed and power that when it works amazingly.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't, you have just fallen on your sword.
Yeah,
And
we almost saw
saw.
that. Almost.
Almost.
No. Yeah, the thief. Well, ninja in this case is an amazing class. 49 bucks is a bit too much, but I did a lot of greed checks, just to find maybe a ribbon to put on my one of the black mage. Was still faster than going back to marsh locked, and yeah, I wasn't scared with my ninja about any Brack, Quake, Zap, or anything like that, since he pretty much resisted everything. But yeah, this was a fun one. Ninja is a great class, especially when fast rolls level 1. Since the ninja can learn it. But yeah, I don't know. It was a great scene. A lot of troll, a lot of curveballs early on with the blizzard, the stone touch, which landed on my ninja, which was supposed to be immune to, but nah.
it resisted.
Yeah,
It just didn't
yeah,
resist
resisted. Sorry.
it.
Yeah, Garland also killed me with cremate. Yeah. Oh
You know,
boy.
Yeah.
friend rolling a skill or a spell is just, it's one of the happy little surprises.
Yeah.
It's like when the imps roll nuke, and then you're just like, wait a minute, imps don't last long in this game. They kind of just go away. I'm gonna have to count on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's funny is that normally when I check the two chests on the left, I always exit then save, just in case Garland does that. I'm like, this time I was like, nah, I'm fine. Whoops.
Oops.
yeah.
But no, yeah, like I said, the ninja is an amazing class. With the 120 agility buff, he basically evades almost anything, which is why it only casted one roof stick. Didn't need more. The only reason why I would need more is just, well, because I was right now at 200 agility, basically, on a 255 max. So I was almost capped, which I didn't really need anyway. But yeah, this was a ninja, I guess. It's a fun class. Don't use a Vorpal. Vorpal is bad.
Unless it rolls +7.
Yeah, and the katana rolls +1, and you don't have a Masa incentivize.
Or even in the team.
Yeah, too.
Yeah.
Oh, I should use the silver sword. The silver knife. Ah. Missed opportunity. We can go back. Oh, no, but yeah, that was fun. Thanks for having me again. I think this is me being done with showcasing stuff. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see.
Thank you for coming out and running.
Yeah, no, thanks.
Coming out and running and showing us off and showing off.
Yeah.
Fellison with a pretty lengthy and worthwhile comment here. So considering the main reason the thief is worth considering as a carry is, yeah, the melee is generally worse than the fighter. The fighter has higher strength, so that translates to more damage, generally. But the thief utility of running and being able to cast black magic, which can get you fast and temper potentially, or saber, all very useful. And it lets you kind of, if you're running the thief as your melee, you know that it's capable of it, and you can slot in other things into the slot you might use for a second melee. I think that was a really good breakdown of the considerations that's happening there. And also, low man.
Yeah, going low level with a ninja is a bit risky because of the HP. Since with the fighter or the black belt, like, well, black belt are not gonna do low level anyway.
Yeah,
black
belt you're not really gonna do low level.
Yeah, but with a fighter, like, I was level 25. I don't think I had 400 HP on the thief, where with the fighter I would have around 600, 650. Which is way past the nuke and nuclear max roll of 400.
Yeah, the nuke 400 or the nuclear 320. They're both
320?
very scary
Okay.
with the ninja.
Yeah, I didn't remember the max roll of nuclear, but yeah, very scary spells and skills.
It's true. I did say something about the +80 hit point blessing being my favorite thief blessing.
Yeah,
it's very strong.
yeah, it's nice.
It's kind of like when the fighter rolls a luck bonus, and you're like, maybe I don't need the thief.
Yep.
Yeah, when the fighter rolls a luck bonus, and all right, that's.
I mean, that's one of those things you just kind of consider as it comes up, and sometimes it changes your strategy when you're playing. But for these, because we're focusing on getting the basics down with each class, you kind of get what you get and go with it. But we've tried to make these as balanced as possible to really show off the strengths of each of them, while also considering, the potential weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I I don't know if you saw, but the only equipment I put on the thief was some silver armor.
It was what you just happened to pick up.
Yeah, and I didn't really need more because of the huge agility buff he had. So yeah, no, the thief / ninja is, I think, one of the most powerful class in the game right now because of the agility. But yeah, you can really push low level with a good ninja with good magic. Anyway, I'm just rambling. It's a nice class. That's a TLDR.
Yeah. It
Also,
can be a very nice class.
yeah. Also, ducklings, don't do what I do right off the bat. Take your time. Like, equip some armor on your mages. Take your time to open more boxes to get a few more loot items. Like I said last time, I'm a big speed and power guy. I just like to go fast, open barely any boxes, take a lot of risks, and which almost got me.
Almost.
Yeah, but yeah, take your time. Take your time to just learn how the ninja feels when, like, just running away from stuff. How evasive it can be. The amount of weapon and armor it can equip too. Which is, we don't really talk about it, but the ninja can pretty much equip almost everything in the game, minus some night
like
exclusive armor and weapons,
like the opal gear, the Aegis shield, the X cow.
Yeah, really the night exclusive items.
So I want to touch on that point you made, Chanigan, about take your time and be deliberate, I would say, is where you're kind of heading with that.
Yep.
So part of speed and power is understanding just how far you can push yourself, right?
Yeah.
But especially when you're new, and especially when you're dealing with the ninja, it's a good idea to over prepare and then gradually take things away until you figured out where your limit is.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, keep that in mind as you're going through. It is not a bad idea to pick up armor for your mages, because you might not have as easy a dive as what you saw from some of the dungeons, or you might be forced into some encounters that you might not otherwise want to take. So just be aware that sometimes shopping is worthwhile, sometimes picking up some more chests is worthwhile, and you can decide where your comfort level is and adjust and push that limit down as you go further along.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. Thank you for doing all this stuff, and I guess I'll let you guys let both of you go with final thoughts and stuff.
Stuart,
I don't know.
Stuart,
Yeah.
you want to head first?
Yeah, that. Chanigan was a really good person to run this because the ninja really fits Chanigan's primary play style. The ninja's very much a speed and power type of character, where you get something that gets a lot of crits and a lot of hits, and just go all in on that. Ninja's great at running away, which helps a lot. To get around encounters on the overworld and in dungeons. Lock picking. Keep in mind of lock picking. It gets you out of. It can break sequence easily. So for the ducks, Don't sleep on the Thief and Ninja. Which is ironic for me, who is a confirmed Thief Ninja hater, to say. But don't sleep on them. Saracen?
So I'm with you on that. Thief is something that I was trying to run as a melee carry before we implemented the Agi buff flag. So I'm a little bit more familiar with some of the pains associated. I think the display that Chanigan put on here is a really great display of that speed and power style. And at the same time, man, I was sweating bullets for a couple seconds there, especially that chaos fight.
Nah, it was fine. Told you, man.
The primary weakness of the Thief is the non-elemental spells. So the swirl skill or nuclear or nuke is a really big problem for the ninja. And that hit point piece is the really large concern. The other two melee are much better at the hit point side of things and the defensive side. The ninja is your glass cannon. So bear that in mind as you're playing, and don't be afraid to pivot if you need to change up what you're doing. Beyond that, I'm happy that you all came out here. Thank you for all the questions in chat. It was very much appreciated. It helps focus us on some topics, because, man, we can ramble about anything.
Yeah.
Of us. Hope to see you on Sunday, where we cover our final melee, and we'll have DM Stewart doing the running on that, which will be good. Black Belt aficionados here. So, Black Belt is a very different experience than the other two. So that's why we put the fighter and the ninja together, is they're a lot more similar because of their general play style. The Black Belt is very different. And perhaps we shall see some very interesting numbers come out of the Black Belt. So we might take a bit more time. We might see a little bit more out of that.
Yeah, I'm actually about to vet the Black Belt Week seed for the Duckling seed.
Fantastic. So just keep in mind, tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will have our next community race. Tomorrow morning is the Async Weekly posting, which Life Reboot, who has been feeding us all of these fun questions, that's his area, is the Async Weekly, and we typically put these on that weekly channel for the asyncs. So check that out. More FFR always around the corner. We may have a VOD review on Friday. I'm not 100% sure who's running on that for point, and if we have VODs to review, but keep that in mind. We do have submissions available for that. Just let people know.
There was a VOD review request, so we can do a VOD review on Friday. I will.
But yeah, then after that, the next class is Sunday. So hope to see you back then. We'll continue our little FFR learning journey here. And yeah, been good having you. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.